Howdy, howdy. What's going on, yo? Today is, as in the title, let's see, back and biceps day, right? With a little bit of rear delts, maybe a little bit of shoulders, like side delts, I mean. But it is freezing. My body temperature in my house, for some reason, felt like it was an igloo inside. I was having the cold chills everywhere I went. It's just freezing everywhere. But on terms of the lift today, we're gonna be doing some rowing, obviously, some pull downs, obviously, some bicep curls, obviously, just the standard stuff. I don't really know if I want to do some bent over rowing with with a barbell or not. Probably not. But I felt really strong when I was doing it on the whatchamacallit. When I was on the Smith machine at Planet Fitness, I got 2 plates pretty easily, so that makes me think, hey, I can move some weight around, right? So I might have to do that, but I don't really know. But I'm cold still. It's hard to think when you're cold or when you're too hot, But the thing with rowing and everything, it depends on what you're doing, right? Because very fatiguing movements matter. And it depends on how fatigued you want to be, right? Usually, I like the fatigue on the last parts of my lift, right? I'm obviously more fatigued. I'm still fatiguing myself when I'm in the beginning of my lifts and everything, but I'm raw. I'm 100%, right? At the end, I'm like 50%, 40, whatever. I don't think that you should, ever be 0% unless it's at the end of your set, right? Then it's like the failure, obviously, right? But in terms of a lifting thing, if you're like absolutely depleted, it depends, right? There's leg days that I go in and I come out whole new person. I'm like a zombie afterwards, right? But then sometimes it's like, I don't think I could have got any more in the tank, right? Rewardingly, right? I'm not saying that you should come out feeling fresh or come out feeling, good or anything, right? But, there should be a fine line of really knowing when you did too much, when you kind of did not enough, and then, an even balance of those both. Because it's not a marathon or a sprint, right? Lifting is its whole different thing, right? You don't want to be in there doing 30 sets of 15-pound curls for 100 reps. That's stupid. But you also don't want to do 1 set of 1 reps on a bicep curl and call that a day, So it really just, it depends on what you want to train and how you want to train, obviously, right? If you want to gain size, you should go to failure, have around 6 to 10 reps, 12 depending on what you're doing. Like a fly, I think personally, you could do 12 reps, get more of a squeeze on what you're doing, compared to like a pressing movement. I don't think 12 reps on that is really helping as much out as like a 6 rep set, But I think that sweet 7 balance, that's like the perfect amount of reps you need for a set. And then there's not like the perfect amount, but it's just, it's all subjective. So my advice is going to be way different from another lifter's advice, right? We can probably agree on a certain kind of like, a certain, whatever not, like a certain rep scheme or a certain set scheme, whatever not, but we're not going to agree 100% to the T on each and everything, right? So like I've said numerous times in the past, try out what you genuinely like. If you like a certain exercise, let's say for your hamstrings, that nobody really else does, that you can progressive overload on, you get a good pump from, you get a good feeling from, like a good contraction, good squeeze and stretch, I don't think there's anything wrong with doing that. Even if it looks stupid, and unless it's borderline outlandish, there's a difference, right? Just doing something a little bit different from everyone else compared to just absolutely just kind of doing things to be different, There definitely is a difference, right? you know, because you see guys, they do like the one leg RDL things where they put one leg back and up, and then they do an RDL like that. And compared to a guy who just does normal RDLs, I mean, who's to say the guy that's doing the one leg isn't getting as much work or maybe even more than the guy who's just doing a regular RDL compared to maybe another guy who's doing like a hamstring curl. They're all hitting the same thing, right? But you're activating different other muscle groups during that, or you're isolating one more than the other, right? Like a hamstring curl is going to isolate the hamstrings more than like an RDL, even though they're hitting the same exact thing. It's more of a compound lift for the RDLs rather than the the RDL. I think that's what I was saying. That, yeah. So it all just really depends on what you want to do. Don't listen to everyone else about to the T points and facts or whatever not. Because I'm not gonna say science isn't science, and but even then it's like the science-based lifting stuff. Don't always go 100% by that either. I've seen some stupid science-based lifting things. I mean, you've seen it on TikTok where the people have like the red things that they put on their elbows and they're doing these on the lat pull bar downs. Don't do those. I mean, when I say outlandish, that's getting really close to it, because it's like, okay, just have straps or grab onto the bar and do these. You don't have to get these and, I mean, I was a guy who at first was making fun of Kelso shrugs, and then I tried them, right? I'm not going to say I'm going to do a whole set of Kelso shrugs, because I'm not. I think doing Kelso shrugs is a great thing to do for like a superset after you've done your normal rows, right? Meaning, do your normal set of T-bar rows, do the full reps, range of motion, and then afterwards, bang out that, Kelso shrug, because Kelso shrugs are way easier. I have a friend who says Kelso shrugs are a lot harder than the normal rows, but then I'm wondering, what is he doing for this range of motion? You're still doing that, but you're adding on more range of motion, so, I don't know. But we're about to be at the gym, y'all, and I will see you dudes in a second. Alright, so the first exercise we're going to be doing is a close grip mag grip pull down. Just a really good grip so you don't have to use your straps. But pretty much, just get a good stretch at the top, so like going slow on the way up, explode on the way down, go as far down as you can comfortably with getting a good contraction, so a good squeeze. And we're going to be training heavy on this, so do some partials at the end. I trained around the 6 to 8 rep range for this, and I did 2 sets on this total. Now we're going to be focusing on our mid-back and upper back with this wide grip cable row. Just a really good grip. So make sure you're retracting your shoulder blades together and you're squeezing your back. Go slow on the way down, explode on the way up. We're going to be training around the, again, 6 to 8 rep range, and I did 3 sets of this total today. And at the end, when I can't do the normal reps, I start doing Kelso shrugs for a better squeeze at the top. Now what we got is to work our lower lats just to give us that Dorito look. We're pretty much just going to be rowing as close to our side as we can possible. And yeah, that's it really. That's it pretty much. So make sure you're going slow on the way down, explode on the way up as per usual. We're going to be training pretty heavy again. I trained around the 5 to 8 rep range, and I did 3 sets of this today. Now we're on the hammer curls to work on our biceps and brachialis to get a wider looking arm. And pretty much you're just going to be going across your body rather than straight in front of you. Train moderately heavy, so I think it's 55s here. I did around 7 to 9 reps per set. I did 2 sets on this today and control the weight on the way up and on the way down. Now to finish off our biceps, we just had preacher curls. I did 4 sets today, and I did around 6 to 10 reps on these sets today. Make sure if you're going with a moderately heavy weight, you don't go all the way down, but just get deep enough where you get a good stretch and get constant tension on the bicep. And make sure with these, you're training as intense as you can. Howdy, howdy. I gotta go grocery shopping. Let me know if you guys ever want me to do a grocery haul. I always talk about this, but nobody ever says it, so I'm thinking that you guys don't want it or don't really need it or whatever not. But I might post it one day. But my grocery haul is super simple. Jeez. Usually, I'll just get some type of bison or beef, right? Usually it's bison. I've been getting bison and only bison for like the last, how many months now? Like 3, 4. But I'm gonna get beef today. I haven't got beef in a while. I'm gonna change it up. It's basically the exact same, but I get a little bit more of the beef, right? Well, the only problem is at Costco, they don't have lean beef. They have like 80-20 beef only. I think 85-15 is the leanest. And that's not the worst of the worst, you know? But, you know, so I might have to get bison again, right? I don't know. I might get 85-15, which still isn't horrible, you know? So, I don't know. I'll figure it out. But, on other terms today, well, no, we'll continue talking about the shopping trip. So, it's usually, I get these Ben's Original rice packs. You just toss them in the microwave for a minute 30 and you get like the tastiest rice. It's like that cilantro lime chipotle rice shit. Peak. And then I usually get a bunch of those, probably about 10, 12 of those. And then I usually get these fiber gummies. They're just, I mean, they have fibers for one, so it's really good for, you know, helping with your gut staying, you know, it helps everything with that. And then also there's like 24 carbs in this little pack. So I toss those in my mouth. Dude, I got 48 carbs real quick because I eat 2 packs. Perfect on the go, perfect if you need to get them in fast too. So those, I'll usually get 2 packs of protein bars just for work. I don't eat any protein bars outside of work. Maybe if I'm doing stuff that day and it's like it's needed, I may like get like a protein shake in me or a protein bar, but yeah. And then, you know, usually, let me think. And then like chicken, I already have that, so I don't eat that. Chicken I got, so I'll get beef or bison, one of those two today, probably beef. And then sometimes I'll get energy drinks if I need a refill on those. And then grapes. Yeah, it's really simple. Eggs. Like I said, super simple. It's not super complex stuff, you know. It doesn't need to be. You don't need to get these crazy things. You could just get, you know, whatever not. You don't need to get the super scientific, you know, best performance things. It's better if you get those things, like things with less sugars and things with, you know, more fibers, things with more protein, less fats, you know. But let's say you're on a really constricted diet, but you can't get fast food. That's your thing. You can't get it. Okay, well, I can get, you know, chicken breast. I can get, you know, I forget what the most price per pound or whatever, gram or whatever it is, but I'm pretty sure chicken is good for like price wise. Steak is horrible. So if you need a budget, never get steak. I don't know why people would ever even think about getting steak. Because I used to get steak. I used to get these steak like bite things, like the stew meat. It's so bad, dude. Compared to like actual steak. I ate that with ramen, like pasta noodles. Ramen noodles, sorry. For like months, dude. It was horrible. I was like, why do I hate eating this food? Oh, because it's just not good. And then I put steak in it one time, like sirloin steak. Dude, it was so good, but it was so expensive. It was like $40 for like 4 steaks or 3 steaks. Just absurd, you know, because that one steak is gonna last you a meal. Okay, you have 3 meals. It's gonna last you, it's $30. No way. So chicken breast will get you a lot more than that, you know, beef, all that. There's other things like I don't really know. Because I get the same things every time. My list and everything is pretty boring. I also get Fairlife milk too. A lot of the times, because it's like, sometimes I don't like to, if I need to wake up in the morning for my morning shift, let's just say I need to get in bed like in 30 minutes, but I need 400 more calories and like 10 more grams of protein or whatever not. I'm not always against getting more protein than I need, right? I'll just chug some Fairlife and then digest that. I'm not like chugging the whole gallon either. I'm chugging like 2 servings maybe. And then, you know what? I'm good. And I can just go right to sleep, not knowing that I didn't eat that much before right to bed. So I'm not gonna hate, doing that. So that's my thing with eating and everything. Just calories in, calories out. There's more in depth to it, like sodium levels and like I said, sugars, fibers, saturated fats, all that. But if you just want a basic knowledge of stuff, you need high protein, moderate fats, low to moderate, and then moderate to high carbs. And that's really all you need to know. But it's not even a really elite knowledge level. But if you want like a more knowledgeable source, it's like, okay, low sugar, moderate sodium. Try to get high fibers from fruits and veggies and all the other crap, and you're good, man. It's not. I hate to use this term because it kind of sounds rude when I say this. And some people it might be, but to me it isn't, and a lot of other people I know isn't. It's not rocket science, But that's also, me and the people who I'm around, which is a lot of other gym people who are active. But just in terms, I have friends who aren't super active. I'd say, let me see, like 2 of my really close friends are like active. No, more like 1. So, and the other ones, they work and stuff, but it's not like they're like a gym guy or anything. One of my homies, he's a jiu-jitsu guy. I love that guy. He's great. He beats your butt, dude. Don't mess with him. No, but those jiu-jitsu guys, you wouldn't think that they would, like a lot of them, not a lot of them, but like some of them. You heard like the bodybuilder versus like MMA guys and stuff going, oh, I can kick his ass, or I can kick his ass. 9 times out of 10, the MMA guy's gonna win, and a lot of times it's like Bradley Martins and stuff. They're like, oh, I can kick this guy's ass, I'm 260. You're not usually going against a 130-pound guy that is an amateur and he's only been doing it for a year or 2. No, you're going against a guy who's 180, 190, and he's going to be doing it for 5, 10 plus years, and you're going to lose that. So that's what people carry nowadays. But I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Lower everyday prices at Kroger's. I just gave them a sponsorship shout out. Sponsor me, Kroger. I'll take any sponsorships. No, I'm just kidding, not any. But I'll take a lot of sponsorships if they want to give them to me. But I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.